Hello and welcome to episode 162 of the Nintendo Fun Club podcast. I'm Ryan, and joining me, as always, is John.
There was a lot of skate or die in the word podcast there, Ryan, and I thought it was good. I like that. You should go for that more often.
Okay, that's a good vibe for us to have.
It was like the most Vision streetwear that your pronunciation of that word has ever been, and I liked it.
Maybe we should change the name. Podcast or die. Skater podcast.
Podcast or die, I think is better.
Podcast or die. Get the skate or die logo.
Which, I mean, it could have been your motto when you set your alarm for this morning to get up and do this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Podcast or die.
Or both. Podcast and die. Yeah, it is. It's an early morning following a late night, but we are here to talk Nintendo because there is a whole bunch of Nintendo to talk. Lots of stuff happening. Lots of news. A little thing that we like to call a Nintendo Direct happened. I guess everyone calls it that.
Yeah, I think everyone calls it that.
That's what it's actually called.
Yeah, but it all comes down to how much Bones Brigade you put in your pronunciation of Nintendo Direct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well...
little thing we like to call the Nintendo Direct, you know? That was more counter burst than Bones Brigade. I can't do it. See, that's why I leave it to you. You know what I mean? If you need a super emo pronunciation, come to me. If you need a Gleam in the Cube pronunciation, come to Ryan, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well,
I'm more Robert
definitely
Smith.
Be gleamed.
You're more Tony Hawk.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
stop doing this. All right.
Nope. We can I can do this all morning. So before the
Christian Hosoi.
Before the direct even happened, Steve Caballero.
How do you use him? Rodney Mullins.
Kota Princess EX coming to the Nintendo Switch this summer. Kota Princess, super cool game, came out on the 3DS, and I think we probably talked about it on this podcast years ago when it hit the 3DS. It is, if you're not familiar with it, it is a side-scrolling beat 'em up with swords and stuff, and it has RPG elements. And it's kind of the spiritual successor to Guardian Heroes on Saturn. And it actually is like, it really is a spiritual successor because it has it's developed by people who worked on Guardian Heroes with Treasure back in the day. So this is a game I really enjoyed on 3DS, but then I stopped playing it for some reason. I don't remember what the reason was, so I never actually finished it on the 3DS. But I don't think it was like anything wrong with the game. I think like other stuff just came up. So I'm looking forward to diving in once again on Switch. It feels like just, again, it's like one of those games that just feels like perfect for the Switch. And I'm super stoked this is coming. I don't remember, did you play this game on 3DS, John?
I never did. And I meant to a few different times. I think it was on sale once and I almost got it, but no, I didn't. Yeah, I think I will definitely play it this summer. I'm looking forward to it. Especially the local co-op could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've played it. Okay. So like, I'm not that familiar with the game. I know it reviewed pretty well and I was interested in it at the time, but obviously like the scantily clad protagonist is a like the most kind of noticeable thing about the game when in advertising and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
But so I guess like how indicative of is that character design of the overall like tone and style and stuff of the game, or is that just like the whatever her name is doesn't have a lot of clothes on, but other than that, it's just a normal like brawler type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much everyone else wears clothes. It's not like not like an underwear party or anything.
Well, I'm asking because local multiplayer, like I could try to play this with my 8-9-year-old son, and it's not going to be like really gratuitous, like, or is it?
Yeah, no, I don't even. It's one of those things where you're just like, why is this even a thing for this game? Because it's not what the game is about, and it's not like there's nothing like titillating about the game, or I don't know why. It's just one of those like eye rolly things that happens with games. Like,
well, I mean, I think
there's also like other playable characters and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, and if it's just her and it's just that one character design, costume design, or whatever, and then it's like, I don't know. It's just like one little thing about it. I just was curious if that was like the overall vibe of the game, which I'm less interested in it. But if it's just the one character that doesn't, for whatever reason, wear very many clothes, then that's a totally, not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Nope. Everyone else super well dressed. The rest of the cast. Okay. They remembered to put on their overgarments before going out to save the kingdom.
I thought you were going to name drop a skateboarding brand there, but missed opportunity.
Powell Peralta.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool. So one more thing before we get to the direct, I wanted to bring up a game that I just saw announced for Switch last night. I'm not sure when this was actually announced or when we knew this was coming, but I had never heard of this game before. And as soon as I saw the cover, I texted the cover to you and Kevin because it feels very in our wheelhouse. And that is Victor Vran Overkill Edition. Including the Victor Vran edition Motorhead Through the Ages.
Yeah, what is that?
No idea. But like this cover, it has this like cowboy, steampunk cowboy vampire hunter guy, who I assume is Victor.
I'm curious that you look at that and say like, oh, that's totally our vibe. Like we're so into the cowboy steampunk vampire hunter thing. I don't know.
Well, let me. I mean,
the Motorhead part is cool.
Okay, so yeah, having a Motorhead logo on the cover, I do feel is our vibe, and the game is apparently a Diablo-like action RPG. So that is 100% my vibe, at least. And in the game, and this is coming from the PR statement or whatever. It's so let's see, forge your own hero with a vast array of powerful weapons, game-changing outfits. Wicked demon powers, and take on hordes of hideous beasts and clever monsters. Then explore Motorhead Through the Ages, a wild tour through the mythos of the loudest band in the world.
I mean, that's cool. That part I like. That part I like for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this sounds awesome. Wicked monsters, Motorhead, RPG. this game's got everything. So it's coming to Switch.
Mhm.
From Wired Productions, I believe was the developer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all in.
Okay, well, I think you're probably going to be the primary Victor Vron correspondent here on Nintendo Fun Club because it doesn't really seem. I hate to do this too because you're so excited, but it just doesn't seem that appealing to me personally. I feel like maybe I could have been like on the fence if they had used a different sort of like font logo for the game, but that is such a offensive
good font.
logo design. Yeah, it's so offensive and so bad that it just like it communicates a lot of things that I don't know. We'll see.
It's like an 80s thrash metal band logo on an album cover.
No.
It's pretty
well,
good.
okay. Maybe.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Victor Vron. We'll be continuing to cover this game.
You did see that it's out on like a bunch of other platforms already, right? And is well reviewed and stuff, or decently reviewed.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just making sure you knew that, just in case you wanted to learn more about it.
Yeah, no, I'm the only source I'm using is the official PR source for information about this game.
All right.
They're telling me everything I need to know. Okay. Cool. So March 8th, there was a Nintendo Direct. And it started with everyone's favorite thing, which is 3DS games in 2018 and 2019. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there's some of those coming. I don't know. Like you're I guess the bigger Luigi's Mansion fan here. How do you feel about this 3DS remake?
I feel that I would prefer to just play the GameCube game, which I have. Although I think it's Kevin's copy of Luigi's Mansion that I've had for 5 years or something, but I have it on GameCube. Mine. Oh, you think it's yours?
I think it's mine, yeah.
Oh, you're not getting that back.
That's fine. I don't really like that game.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. No, I've actually never finished it. I've played like 60 or 70% of it twice and then never finished it. So maybe I'll start it all over again this summer and try to play it again. But no, I don't really want to play it on the 3DS, I don't think. Even from GameCube, I feel like playing a game on the 3DS is like a visual downgrade. I mean, the 3DS is probably capable of like better visuals or whatever than GameCube, or well, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, like the screen is so low res that it's just like, yuck, no thanks. At this point in my life, especially for a game I could play on the GameCube. So I will play it there if I play it again. So yeah, I'm not too excited about that, but I do like to see more Luigi's Mansion just like happening, because then know I'd like to get another Luigi's Mansion game, even though I have not finished either of the first two, but I like them both. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and
there's only one 3DS announcement that I care about on this list, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like it's weird too though that like it's getting ported to the 3DS, because it was like one of those, a lot of like those first party GameCube games were like super designed around the GameCube controller. And I'm not sure like exactly what the functionality is, because it's been so long since I played Luigi's Mansion on GameCube, but like it seems like it was designed around the C stick and maybe pressure sensitive buttons.
I think so. I
don't remember. But yeah, so it's a really weird choice. Not totally sure who it's for, but I think probably some of the 70 million 3DS owners will see this and be like, cool.
Let's acknowledge the fact that Nintendo took Super Mario 64 and put that on the Nintendo DS. You know what I mean? Like they are not above completely, changing even groundbreaking, like, completely revolutionary control methods in a game if they want to put it out on the handheld that's got a huge install base, or that they're looking to create a huge install base for, I guess, in the case of Mario 64. So,
Yeah.
you know, if they can do it with that game, it's not too big of a deal, I don't think, to put Luigi's Mansion on 3DS. But yeah, I mean, I think they just like the 3DS keeps selling, and they got to keep putting software out for it. So it's like, oh, hey, people liked Luigi's Mansion 2 on 3DS. Like, let's put the first one out. So it's probably just as simple as that, really.
Yeah, totally. Totally fine. I don't like really care that much.
But, you know, the reaction, though, obviously, as is the reaction to most things that are not on Switch, was like, I don't want to play it on my 3DS. I want to play it on the Switch. I think people would have been excited for Luigi's Mansion on Switch, potentially.
Yeah.
But, not so much 3DS.
So what does that kind of tell us about the state of, you know, the rumored GameCube games on Switch? Like, it seems like if that was going to be a thing, like this wouldn't be a thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of disagree, though, because like I feel like okay, look at the reaction from like the Nintendo faithful or whatever on the internet, like the big time Nintendo fans. Like, they don't care about this game. They don't want Luigi's Mansion on 3DS. I don't think it's for, you know, the same kind of people that like would jump on the GameCube Virtual Console on the Switch. Like, I don't know. I think they just, like I said, they just need stuff to put out on 3DS because people keep buying it. Probably not the same people that are playing their Switch all the time. That's not who's buying the 3DS. You know, it's a totally different audience that's buying 3DS at this point. And I doubt they're really planning on selling a ton of 3DS games to Switch owners, you know? Like, I mean, they must be to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, how many? 15 million? 20 million, not 20, but, you know, 15 million, you know, Nintendo fans have bought Nintendo Switches. There's 70 million 3DSs out there. That's, you know, 55 million people that don't have a Switch yet that might want to buy stuff, that they hope want to buy stuff for 3DS. So like they can give them this game. Whereas I don't know. I just think it's like a kind of a different market, different audience. And, you know, the people buying Luigi's Mansion for 3DS don't have a Switch yet, probably. Or if they are, they're not the people who have a Switch that are super tuned in, dialed in, and are going to be like necessarily sitting around waiting for GameCube Virtual Console. So, but I also don't think they'll like just jump, like lead with GameCube Virtual Console either. So like, I don't know, we could get it, but next year maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Virtual Console at this point is going to come with the Nintendo Network. You know, the Nintendo Online stuff. That's kind of my prediction at this point. I think, you know, Virtual Console could have been like right on deck. But then like every other game is selling super well on Switch, and, you know, I think they can probably hold out and have it be part of the Nintendo Online. So I'm not really expecting it before then.
And I think when it does come with Nintendo Online, it's probably going to be NES games to start, you know? So what's the harm in releasing Luigi's Mansion in August or something, and then putting Luigi's Mansion Virtual Console out in March or September of next year or something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think they're probably really related personally, but
okay.
But I'm not even 100% convinced they're going to stick with the concept of Virtual Console as it existed in the past anyway. You know?
Yeah, so, totally.
Yeah. But
okay, so let's talk about there were other 3DS games announced, but let's talk about the one that I'm going to buy. I don't know about you. And that is WarioWare Gold. And it seems very similar to what they recently did with Mario Party. The top 100, where they just brought like, you know, a bunch of Mario Party mini games together from, you know, previous releases, the quote unquote best games, and, you know, kind of updated them to play and look better on the 3DS. That seems to be what's going on with WarioWare Gold, something like 300 micro games, from past WarioWares. Yeah, it's WarioWare. It's coming to 3DS. Cool.
That is cool. Yes. Yeah, I'll probably get this just because I really, really like more WarioWare. And it's been a while since we've had a WarioWare game, and a while since we've had like a great WarioWare game, right? Because I don't know, I like the Wii one, but was that the last one? The Wii WarioWare?
No, because there was like the DIY that came out on DS like after, because like Wii WarioWare was like close to the Wii launch.
Yeah.
And WarioWare Touched. I think Touched was maybe before the Wii one, and then DIY I think was the last one.
Well, I don't think I played DIY, but WarioWare Wii was the last one I remember playing, and I remember thinking it was like okay, but not earth shattering or anything. So, but there was a while there where there were a bunch of great WarioWare games, and there were some of my favorite games on like DS and GBA and stuff. And so, yeah, it'll be cool to get some of those best games, some of the best games from those games back, and hopefully it'll be really wacky and have all that like WarioWare character and flavor to it, which I mean it kind of has to if it's bringing in all those great old micro games. So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be weird to play. I haven't touched my 3DS in so long, so I know you've been playing Radiant Historia and stuff like that, Historia and whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be touching that 3DS again in like a week or so because Detective Pikachu, which was showcased in this direct, we got to see some old man Pikachu, grumpy Pikachu, in the direct here. That game I have it pre-ordered. It looks so fun, looks so cool. I'm really excited for Detective Pikachu.
Cool. Yeah, Owen wants to get that. We'll see. We'll probably get it at some point, but yeah. How about that giant Pikachu, Detective Pikachu amiibo? Are you going to get that?
Yeah, I would like to. I haven't actually pre-ordered it or anything. But yeah, I would like to get it. It's pretty cool.
What's the price on that one? Is that like a $20 amiibo or?
I think it's $29.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. So it's like 23 or something with Gamers Club Unlocked, and that's kind of what's holding me back a little. I mean, I pre-ordered the new Splatoon amiibo, that 2-pack. And I have the Shovel Knight 3-pack pre-ordered, but I haven't pre-ordered the Detective Pikachu yet, which I probably should, because if like the giant yarn Yoshi is anything to go by, it's gonna be super rare. But who knows with amiibo these days? I don't know. I feel like amiibo is just kind of coasting right now. It doesn't seem like it's like a super big deal. Like, I'm so excited. I still want like way more amiibo to come out. I love them. I still use them. But it's been a while since we got some.
Yeah, that amiibo's futures market is it's tricky. You know what I mean? To really know how things are going to work with amiibo in terms of demand, and like if you want this Detective Pikachu and you don't buy it right away, is it going to be worth like $80 in 3 months, or is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, or is it going to be, or are there going to be pegs full of them like the Animal Crossing amiibo marked down to $4? Like, yeah.
I think amiibo, well, we should keep rolling here, but I think it's doing pretty well. I just think it like was insanity for a while there, and there's no reason to expect it to like maintain that like ridiculous level of demand and like hype and everything. So unless we're seeing like lines of Amiibo like Animal Crossing that are just total duds, then I think Nintendo has gone back to like, you know what, honestly, like when Amiibo first came out, they released them in, you know, conservative quantities, and then everybody got super mad because like there weren't enough of them because the demand was so high. But I would imagine at this point they're probably releasing Amiibo in the quantities like they were releasing them initially, because that's like probably the right amount of Amiibo to put out into the market to have them be like, you know, sell through, and you're not going to lose a bunch of money on like stock sitting around, but they're also not going to be necessarily like super duper easy to find because there's not like just a ton of them everywhere, you know? So they probably had the demand figured out pretty much like correctly for like normal levels of Amiibo excitement, which is where we're back to now. But that first year was just like insanity. And then I also think real quick too, like with I guess I can't talk about it yet. The big game announcement from the Nintendo Direct, I won't say what it was. The major announcement at the end. I think that'll bring some.
We'll save that surprise for our listeners.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're talking about this Direct so quickly after it happened.
10 days later.
Probably, nobody knows what I mean. But anyway,
haven't heard Smash is coming to Switch.
All right, we better get out of this 3DS land here. We don't care about Luigi's Mansion. We both want WarioWare, Captain Toad, and another Dylan game. That's cool, but
that's fine. Yeah, Bowser's Inside Story remake coming in 2019.
Oh yeah.
Good luck, Chuck.
2019, that's the headline there though, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Nintendo's still
it's like, the funny thing about that too is that you pointed out the last Mario and Luigi remake on 3DS didn't even sell well, right? So
I don't think so. I don't know. Like it didn't seem like, anecdotally, it didn't seem like anyone cared, but maybe it's got like super long legs and it continues to sell to people that aren't like us.
Right.
So, I guess like one thing while we're on this Amiibo thing, there was a new Amiibo announced in this Direct, and that is a Solaire Amiibo from Dark Souls for Dark Souls Remastered. Which
whatever
is,
that is.
Yeah, it's the guy with his hands, praise the sun. Yeah, but
I'll take your word for it.
That's I mean, that's interesting. Third-party Amiibo. They are still happening. All right, let's start getting into some of the Switch stuff. Sushi Striker is previously announced, I believe at like the tail end of E3 last year. It was announced for 3DS. It is also coming to Switch. I think this game looks cool. I still don't understand what's going on in it, but it's super, super colorful. It looks pretty unique for like an action puzzle game. It apparently has a story mode, which I imagine is pretty awesome. If this comes out at the right price and at the right time and gets decent reviews, like I'm totally all for it. I'm glad it's coming to Switch.
Looks fun. Looks very fun and very colorful. Whenever I see it, I think like, will this be less fun, as fun, or more fun than Overcooked? Which I don't have, but I've played a little bit, and that game's pretty fun. And it just seems like pretty similar sort of ideas. Although this is like a battle type thing, I guess, against the AI or against a friend. So that's a little different than Overcooked, which is more of like a cooperative type thing, I guess. So, but yeah, looks fun. And it's got a little bit of that like kind of WarioWare sort of style and stuff to it, rhythm heaven, that kind of thing. So that's cool.
Yeah, I'm super curious. I love, it's a new Nintendo IP. Definitely curious to check that out. Undertale coming to Switch, revealed during a very very cute and clever video. I really like this video, like the announcement trailer for Undertale. It was pretty funny. I played, Lindsay bought this game on PS4 when it dropped, and I played maybe like the first hour of it, see what the hype was all about. It's a super cool game. Like, it's super well written and super funny and charming. But like the whole time I was playing it, I was just like, I want to play this on Switch. Like, when is this coming to Switch? And it didn't feel like a great fit on PS4. So I'm really happy that it's hitting on Switch eventually at some point. So have you seen anything about this game? Are you interested at all?
No, yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I've definitely never played it or anything like that. It's been a couple years since it came out, hasn't it? Like, it was,
initially on PC, Steam.
Yeah, very big deal at that point. I remember like kids at school talking about it a lot and stuff. And the
kids like it; they love it.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean, big with the kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably definitely check that out when that comes to Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another RPG, Octopath Traveller, formerly Project Octopath Traveller. We got a release date and a special edition. So the game's dropping July 13th. Perfect. Right smack dab in the middle of the summer. Great time to play a JRPG. And it has a pretty wonderful special edition with a sort of like pop-up book type thing. I guess the box turns into a pop-up book with like little dioramas that look like the game.
Yeah, man, this is a very appealing special edition. It's also very much $100. So I'm like a little torn. I'm not really torn because I'm pretty much just not going to get it. I don't think, since it's like so much money. But I'm going to get the game, no doubt.
Yeah.
But like to pay twice as much to get like this really cool pop-up book that I'll look at like once or twice, and then it'll be sitting on a shelf somewhere, just doesn't seem like a wise use of my limited amount of money that I have to spend on this kind of stuff. But I do really like it. Like, if I was going to get, I mean, this is one of the most appealing special editions I've seen in a long time, just because that pop-up book thing is so cool, and it like works so well with the look of the game and everything like that. So, yeah, I mean, with Gamers Club Unlocked or whatever, I guess you could get it for $80 rather than $100, but that's still, I could get the game for 42, so
yeah.
I mean, no, not 42,
48,
yeah. But yeah.
And then there's like, the pop-up book is awesome, the map is awesome, but then there's also the coin and the CD, which that doesn't do much for me.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think I think pre-orders have popped up and actually sold out. So I don't even think it's like an option at this point. But we'll see when the actual release date rolls around.
With the Bravely Second special edition, that was not as cool as this, but was a big deal at the time too. That one was sold out for a long time, and then I think around the release of the game, like, it was available again, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So that'd probably happen again, but we'll see. Yeah,
for sure. Cool. Well, definitely getting that game. Know that much. Crash Bandicoot.
Cool. That's cool.
Coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently some of the YouTubers that the kids like play Crash Bandicoot a little bit, because my oldest son knows about it, and I guess there's some level in the original Crash Bandicoot or maybe Crash Bandicat Crash 2. I don't know which one it is, but there's like some level that's supposedly like outrageously difficult or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I do know those games get like stupidly difficult at weird points. Yeah,
one or two of the YouTube personalities that my son likes to follow have done videos about this like crazy hard level in a Crash Bandicoot game, and so he's like excited, like he knows about Crash Bandicoot because of that stuff, and But yeah, I don't know if I'll actually follow through and get this, but people are enjoying this collection on PS4 and stuff, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's, I have some some weird hangups with going back into the 90s. I always thought Crash was kind of a cheesy character. I wasn't a huge fan of him mocking Nintendo. His "Hey Plumber Boy" commercials, but I guess that, as they said on the I think it was Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, someone was like, "Yeah, it looks like Mario got the last laugh."
Mhm.
And that's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm always up for more platformers. I do, remember, playing these games and playing them like after stuff like Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, and them not really measuring up. But I guess they've tweaked things for this collection, and could be fun.
Crash for Smash 2018.
Yeah, I don't know if we really need that, but I mean, that's something that's maybe possible. I don't know. Yeah.
How about Okami HD?
Yes, please.
That's cool. I've never played Okami.
Yeah, it's cool. I actually haven't played any of the other versions, but I played it on PS2 when it originally came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I remember kind of getting turned off and never finishing it because it's a very chatty game. However, again, like playing it on Switch in portable mode, that may not be quite as egregious of an issue, these days. So, yeah. Sounds cool. It's gonna have like touch screen controls if you want them. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I will definitely grab this. I think it's gonna look beautiful on the Switch screen. So
yeah, definitely. How about Travis Strikes Again?
Yes,
that is one of the more exciting announcements, I think, from the Direct. Not announcements, but updates.
Yeah, we actually got to see some gameplay, and kind of as as was implied, and as was said by Suda in interviews and stuff, like, this isn't quite No More Heroes 3. It seems to be more of like a not like mini game collection. Like, that's not the right term, because this is like a it's a full game, but like a isometric, probably not open world, more like level based game. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I think like the levels and the gameplay will be different depending on which level it is, right? I mean, well, obviously the levels will be different depending on which level, but you know what I mean? Like it's like I like, it's almost like a collection of different gameplay styles or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, because like the thing with like with No More Heroes in the past is, I talked about it before, but I just always felt like it kind of got stale after a while. Like, it was just, I don't know, like the game ran out of steam a little bit for me in the long run. And with No More Heroes 2, like, my favorite part of that game was going and doing the mini game, like the little 8-bit games or whatever. Like, I always thought that was like probably one of the more exciting and more fun things about that game. So for this game to double down on just like, hey, we'll just have different, like you said, not mini games, but different smaller games that kind of comprise the larger whole of this No More Heroes game, I think to me is like, that makes more sense. That's more exciting to me than just like a straight up 3D beat 'em up, So, so yeah, I'm really excited for that. But then it's going to have like a unique boss battle for the end of each of these stages. So then it does still kind of maintain like that, I don't know, like the kind of point of No More Heroes, which is, battling through a level to take on like whatever assassin at the end of the level, like still going to maintain that. But then the gameplay within those levels will be little more varied and yeah, probably more fun, I think. And he's collaborating with a bunch of other like indie developers to do these like different levels, right? So depending on which indie developer is putting together or working with Suda on whatever level, probably a different concept and different kind of gameplay style. And yeah, I just think that sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, this is super exciting. I actually kind of want to go back and revisit the first two games. Like I remember one definitely got kind of stale and repetitive. I remember not loving the open world parts of it and whatever, but I did really, really like two. I mean, I remember playing through that like the weekend it came out and just like playing it nonstop and absolutely loving it. So, yeah, I mean, I still have those games. I'm definitely going to go back, probably not play all the way through them, but, just revisit them before this new one drops.
Yeah.
Because I also think that those are going to be very interesting time capsules of that era because they're so like heavy on the motion controls and I think they're going like the art style and stuff is probably going to hold up well, even if the technical aspects will probably feel pretty dated. But it'll be interesting playing those games in 2018 and seeing what the vibe is.
The thing I would brace myself for the most is the language. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, there's a lot of cussing in those games.
Well, it's just like Kevin Smith style, where it's like every third word. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh my god, okay, we get it. You're saying bad words in a video game. It's funny, but like, it could be good to be a little much. I bet that'll be, if not toned down, like a little more judiciously, sort of like parceled out in this new game. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
It just seems like a little, yeah, I don't know.
Like that was definitely that era when it's like Nintendo Wii, not just for kids and your grandma. Like check out No More Heroes, check out Mad World. Like,
right.
That's funny. Yeah, that's the Wii era is so weird. I think I love it, but I don't know.
Well, No More Heroes is an example of like that kind of mentality or whatever done in an interesting and cool way. And Mad World is an example of it done in an awful, gross way, lame way.
I don't know. I still haven't played Mad World. I've had a copy of it here. I think like when we started recording this podcast, I was like, I should play that copy of Mad World I've had sitting here for like 3 or 4 years. Still have it. Still have never played it.
I would keep it that way if I were you. I would keep it that way. Yeah.
No, I'm going
I've played it, unfortunately, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know. Cool. Little Nightmares. This was a game that was like sort of on my radar. I had heard it like talked about on other podcasts, like some of the other IGN podcasts. I think like Podcast Beyond. I was listening to an episode of that a while ago, and apparently it's like a legit creepy game. Like it's a 2.5D puzzle platformer at its core, but apparently it actually gets like legitimately disturbing, but like not like it seems like there's very little like gratuitous violence, if any. But it's more just a lot of unsettling imagery and stuff. It seems to be like horror pretty like artfully done. So, it was a game that I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Like maybe I'll check it out at some point, but it's another one of those things like now it's coming to Switch and it's like, yeah, well, I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah. It looks like an interesting game. This it's got like a look and like aesthetic and stuff that just doesn't quite, I'm not super into myself, but I bet it looks like a cool game. I'd probably like it if I played it, but it's one of those things where unless I was really looking around for something to play, it just doesn't appeal to me a ton necessarily. But yeah, that is cool to see it come to Switch. So
yeah. Also cool coming to Switch. Not 100% my thing, but I know it's something that people really wanted. South Park. I don't really want to say the title.
No, me neither. It's
like
South Park 2.
Yeah.
South Park 2.
It's very clever. Maybe not. But
but these games are like kind of traditional JRPG style, like turn-based games, right? So
I played the first one because I got it free on Xbox when it like went backwards compatible or whatever. Or I got it for like $2 or something. Some weird reason I got Stick of Truth on Xbox, and I played it. I'm not like a huge fan of South Park writing, to be honest, but I do think like they does have its moments. Like some of the self-referential stuff is traditionally good. But what really struck me about the first game was like it's basically plays like a Mario RPG, like a Paper Mario game or something. And it also is like it looks exactly like the show. Like it's one of those things. It reminds me of back in like the 90s when like multimedia games were coming out, and there was like the Beavis and Butthead like point and click adventure game on PC, and you're like, oh my god, this is like playing an episode of the TV show, and like it has the same like voices and everything, and like the animation looked like the show. It gave me that vibe, which I think is cool. Just like when games are faithful to their source material, I think that's something worth applauding. But yeah, I like the combat. I like the look of the game. Not sure the writing really does much for me. But I don't really see myself checking this out, but I've also heard like really, really good things about it. So I don't know. I guess it will kind of depend on how I'm feeling when it actually drops. If I can overlook some of the aspects that aren't as appealing to me, could be cool. But I was really shocked by how soon it comes out for a game, like a big game just being announced. April 24th.
Yeah.
So like a month from now, pretty much.
Right. Yeah, but it's out on other systems. I mean, so it's just like,
yeah. But then like I'm kind of used to like these these ports getting announced for Switch, and then it's like, well, yeah, it'll be out in like September or July or August or whatever. But yeah, this is like, it's coming in like a month and a half.
I don't know anything about releasing video games really, but I would think like you'd want to announce a game like a port like way ahead of time if you were this doesn't really make sense either, but like if you just wanted to give, I guess if you wanted to give players a heads up, like, okay, like for instance, I have a PS4, I have a Switch, right? So if there's a game coming out for PS4 and I really, really want to like play that game, and I don't know that it's coming out for Switch, then I might get irritated when that game gets announced for Switch like 2 months after I buy it for PS4. But if you make the announcement like, okay, hey, it's coming out in March on PS4, but it's coming out in September on Switch, then you're giving the consumer the choice to buy whatever version they want, But since South Park like came out already on PS4 like last year, they probably didn't even start on this port until after that game was already out. You know what I mean? Like in this case, it's like, well, might as well wait until it's close to release to get people excited for it, so that like, because if you find out, oh, that's South Park, a game that came out a year ago on PS4 is coming out 8 months from now on Switch, like by the time it actually comes out, like all of my excitement or interest has probably dissipated or whatever. Whereas if you announce it and say it comes out next month, then like, okay, cool, I'll pre-order it and get it right away, or you know what I mean, whatever. So I just feel like probably when it's something that's coming out like way after the game already existed, probably, or initially released, probably makes more sense to just announce it closer to the date versus if it's something that is releasing. Yeah, whatever. You get what I mean, right?
Sort of. But I also think like, yeah, no, I mean the announcement of game on Switch after you bought it on a previous console regret is very real.
Yeah.
I definitely saw people, I don't remember, someone on my Twitter feed was like really annoyed that Okami HD was just announced for Switch because they had just bought it on PS4, and they're like, I wish I would have, known that, because I want to play this game on Switch. So
Right.
I would say at this point, like, just any video game that's like not a platform exclusive for PS4 or Xbox, just if you're like mostly a Switch gamer, just hold off. So like and that's kind of how I feel about like those platforms at this point. Like with Xbox games, I've kind of stopped buying them because it's like, well, I'm a Game Pass subscriber, so the game will probably show up on Game Pass for free, quote unquote free, and or it'll show up on Switch. So, you know, and then like same with PS4, like it'll maybe just show up on PS Plus. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like the PS4 for me is, obviously I don't play it that much, but like if it's something that's really graphically intense or a platform exclusive, then you play it on PS4. And otherwise, like, yeah, I want everything on Switch.
Yeah,
I'd definitely rather play something on the Switch instead of the PS4 if the Switch can handle it. Like I wasn't going to wait for Battlefront 2 on Switch, obviously, but Okami HD or South Park, like why not? It's probably going to come to Switch. So.
Yeah, for sure. Like the one game that I've been like that I really want to play that's just on PS4 and Xbox right now is the Dragon Ball Fighters, the 2D like gorgeous Dragon Ball game, where I'm like I want this. I'm not gonna buy it because this has gotta come to Switch. Like at some point. It was
announced for Switch, no?
No.
Oh,
like it totally makes sense though, because the Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, that came out on Switch and apparently has done like really well. So it's like it just feels like a matter of time. However, I don't know, like after the big announcement of this direct, I don't know where that leaves Switch fighting games, but we'll get to that in a moment here. But first, we had some Splatoon 2 news, which is ultra relevant to me these days because I've been playing a ton of Splatoon 2. First, Splatoon 2 Octo expansion is paid DLC, and it is adding a brand new single player campaign with like a story set in the Splatoon universe, I guess. $20, and I really don't know what to expect from this.
Yeah, yeah, I mean it's cool, but like I haven't barely played the single player campaign from like the first single player campaign, you know what I mean?
Same, yeah.
So I guess like if they do something with a second single player campaign that's really interesting and whatever, then maybe I will be more into it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like Splatoon is so fun without the just like multiplayer Splatoon is like really where it's at. I don't even barely explore like other multiplayer modes in Splatoon 2 because like just the the primary mode. What's it called now?
Turf War.
Yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, I'm finally getting into some of the other multiplayer modes,
the ranked stuff. Yeah.
but yeah, like just the core mode is so good. But yeah, I'm curious to see what this is going to be. The vibe of the trailer was super cool. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what it ends up being. But I mean, honestly, like I played the first like couple levels in both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2's single player mode, and then just like went back to the multiplayer and I haven't finished either single player mode. Despite playing this game constantly.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of Splatoon as a game that will kind of last the bulk of the life of the system, potentially. Because I don't know, because Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2, like Splatoon 2 is definitely a new game and everything, but then at the same time, like if it was Splatoon 2 coming out on Wii U, it'd be like a little bit of a gray area between like, is this really a new game or is it just kind of like an updated version of the first one? So like it just seems to be like Mario Kart, like Smash Brothers, one of those Nintendo franchises that would work well as like one installment per system. So then if you just keep, not keep, but if you provide some significant upgrades or updates to the game, throughout the life of the Switch, rather than like, coming out with Splatoon 3 next year or whatever. That seems to kind of make sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense from a business standpoint or if like Splatoon, like the super hardcore Splatoon players are going to be, satiated by that, or if they're going to want Splatoon 3, in a year or two. But to me, it makes sense to just keep doing this.
Yeah, definitely. Like I don't want Splatoon 3 because I've been like working on, building my level and acquiring gear and outfits and stuff. Like, God, I do not want to start over from scratch anytime soon until the next piece of Nintendo hardware, honestly. Because I also feel like I have a long way to go in Splatoon 2. But yeah, we're also getting an update to bring the game to version 3.0, rank X for your hardcore ranked mode players. That's new. And then over 100 new pieces of gear and 3 new stages. I think at least one of these stages, Camp Triggerfish, is from the original Splatoon. But Piranha Pit, Camp Triggerfish, and Wahoo World, I can't remember if those are from the original game on Wii U or not. But yeah, more Splatoon 2, and this is going to be a free update coming in late April.
Yeah.
Cool. So then, speaking of Splatoon, the video, the direct.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Oh, whoops.
We haven't even talked about the most exciting like game from this direct.
Yeah.
And I feel like we want to save the game that shall not be named until the end of our conversation about this direct, about the direct. So we got to talk about Mario Tennis Aces.
So speaking of chain chomps.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Why don't you take this?
Okay, sure. Guy. I am the tennis guy. Mario Tennis Aces is definitely super exciting to me. I've been looking forward to this game ever since it was announced, earlier in the year, I guess, or whenever that was. But comes out June 22nd, and they showed pretty in-depth look at the game and the different modes and the different shots and stuff. I guess it was really focused on the different shots and things that you can do in the game. But it sounds like, so there's a variety of different shots you can do. And there's the whole, I forget what they're called now, the different, the special shot type thing. Mm-hmm. And then the if you're on offense, you can slow things down and then place your shot or whatever. And then there's a defensive kind of version of that too. But anyway, it just looks like so much fun because I love tennis, like we said, and Mario Tennis is great, and just seems like there's a lot of depth to it. At the same time, you can also strip out all the special modes and moves and stuff and go to a more just straight up tennis type thing. There's some motion control, so you can do a Wii Tennis type game if you want to, but you don't have to. There's going to be obviously like 4-player local multiplayer, but then there's also going to be these like online tournaments that you can set up, or maybe not set up. I don't know if you can set up tournaments like you can in some other Nintendo online games, like set up your own tournaments, or if you could just like join the tournaments that Nintendo has going on. But in any case, it just seems like a pretty robust package, I guess you'd say. And I can't wait. Like, it's very exciting.
Yeah, I definitely have a good feeling about this one. I feel like obviously this is a big deal for Nintendo. They were kind of showcasing it, and spent a lot of time on it, which I feel like they haven't really done with their sports games. In kind of, I guess, the quote unquote last generation. Even the 3DS games and the Wii U Mario Tennis were just kind of felt like afterthoughts. In a lot of ways, but I feel like this is restoring Mario sports games to being a big deal again, like they were in like the N64 era, where they were something that people cared about and people got day one and everything. And this does feel like a super robust package, like you were saying. Lots of modes, lots of options, lots of different ways to play. Should be a local multiplayer hit at the very least, and we'll see if like the online takes off. And I've got a good feeling about the single player content as well. Definitely seems to be something there. So I'm excited for this.
And I made a lot of hay, as they say, about playing the Switch like outside, like on the back, deck and stuff last year. Like at night, like, oh, I can't wait till it's summertime and it's warm out and I hang out in the backyard and like play Switch with friends and stuff. And I didn't really do that at all last summer, but I still love the idea. You know what I mean? So like I can just imagine like getting together with some friends and playing some Mario Tennis and some Splatoon and some Mario Kart and stuff outside in the summer air, you know what I mean? Happening in the outdoors and the fresh air.
Playing some Neo Turf Masters.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a series of blog posts or videos for Nintendo Fun Club of me at like various locations. I'll go to the tennis court and play Mario Tennis Aces, and I'll wear like themed gear and stuff, and same at the golf course. And I'll go to the skate park and do the Splatoon thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the big game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big game.
So I wasn't able to catch the reveal. I was still working when the surprise video dropped at the end of the direct. So I didn't get like the experience of the classic style Smash reveal trailer where you think it's one game and then it turns out to be Smash. Those videos are always so fun. But didn't get to catch that, but I did get a text from you saying Smash and then a cuss word.
Me?
Yeah. You made a cuss.
Wow. Yeah. Channeling my inner Travis, I guess, from No More Heroes or something, huh?
Yeah. Oh. It's a mad world.
Nope, it's a No More Heroes kind of world. If I'm sending cuss words, definitely not a mad world.
It's a Tony Hawk ride world. But
it's a Skitchin world.
Yeah. Anyways,
sorry.
Smash.
Well, I'm sorry for spoiling the surprise, but I thought, I don't know.
It would have been spoiled for me within like 5 seconds of going on Twitter. So, but I definitely wasn't expecting a big reveal.
Well, it was interesting watching it. Sorry, it was interesting watching it live because like they were like, okay, and that's gonna, basically it made it clear that the direct was ending, and then I was like, all right, well, that's pretty sweet direct. It was pretty good. And then he was like, but there's one more thing, and I was like, oh, okay, one more thing. This is exciting. And then it started showing the Inkling girl, and I was like, and it like that, like tease trailer thing hangs on the Inkling girl for like a long time, and it's like she's painting and she's sliding and she's doing more painting, and I was like, okay, this is some kind of Splatoon thing. Like what we just spent a bunch of time on, like Splatoon 2. Is it like a Splatoon anime? Like what is this? But I was just thinking, like, I don't know, I'm not that excited because we already just talked a bunch about Splatoon and everything. So then when it did, I guess what I'm saying is the pacing was pretty sweet because it was like, okay, the direct's over. Wait, there's one more thing. And then I was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't be that excited about the one more thing. And then boom, it was Smash Brothers. So it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. So, all right. So Smash Brothers coming in 2018.
Yeah.
Like there's a big to do happening. Is this a new game? Is this a port of the Wii U 3DS game? I'm not really sure it matters. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere in the middle, much along the lines of Splatoon 2, which, used a lot of content from Splatoon 1, but also kind of like does its own thing as well. And that's kind of my guess. But I mean, either way, if it's a Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch Deluxe, with funky mode, like that's and some Inklings and stuff, like that's cool too. I don't see myself playing Smash on Wii U or 3DS like ever in the future. So if it is just that with some new stuff, cool. But I have a feeling it will be like a little bit more than that, but it's not going to be like this is the game that changes up changes up Smash Brothers forever. It's not going to be like a Breath of the Wild type, like total reboot type thing.
I 100% agree. My feeling is that if I'm Nintendo and it is a re-release of Smash 4 on Switch, you have to, or you're smart to at least make that known immediately, because you don't want to have people guessing from now until E3 about whether or not it's new and then find out it's not. You know what I mean? That would be a very bad idea, I think. So I guess what I'm saying is that it will not be called Smash Brothers, like, although I don't even know how they would do that, because it was just called Smash Brothers for Wii U and Smash Brothers for 3DS. So if you just call it Smash Brothers for Switch, I guess, you're not technically saying, I don't know. My point is, it's not like called Breath of the Wild, and you just, call it Breath of the Wild on the next system too. It doesn't even really have a name on the other besides Smash Brothers. But anyway, I don't think it's just going to be billed as a port or re-release of that game, because if it were, you have to make that known right away. Otherwise, you set up an expectation with no other possible outcome besides disappointing people when they find out it's not new. So I think that, like you said, it'll be closer to Splatoon 2, which is a new game in name, and it is a new game in like half the content, but a lot of the content is from the old game too. I think that would be the case with Smash. I think it would also make a ton of sense. There's so many levels between the Wii U and 3DS version of Smash 4 that it would make a ton of sense to release this game on Switch with a lot of the roster from Smash 4, a bunch of the levels from Smash 4, but then also a bunch of new levels. And then you still have this whole like back catalog of levels from the 3DS and Wii U versions that you can like add to the game over time. So if it initially releases with like 60% new levels, 40% levels from Wii U and 3DS, and then over the course of 2 years, you give us a bunch of those levels from Wii U and 3DS too, like along with new levels. Like, that's what I'm saying is they can keep expanding the content of this game while pulling from the old games over the course of the life of the game, rather than being like, okay, well, at first we're just going to give you the game you had on Wii U and 3DS, and then we'll bring new stuff later. It's like, put a bunch of new stuff in it at the start, but fill it out with stuff from Wii U and 3DS, and then continue to do that, like new stuff plus Wii U 3DS levels, for 2 or 3 years, down the line. And
Yeah.
that's what I would assume it is. And then that sounds kind of perfect to me for what would be a good way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. One thing with this game that's really weird, and I've never said this about a game or felt this way about a game. I hope that there is a season pass I can buy day one for this, because I feel like with the last Smash, like there were so many different ways to buy the content, and you could buy it in these packs, or you could buy it like piecemeal, and you could buy it for Wii U, or you could buy it for 3DS, and you could buy both. There's just a lot of DLC, and I just want a season pass. I'll pay $25 or whatever in addition to the cost of the game, and then just know I'm gonna be getting everything as it drops, and I don't have to like even mess with it or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be as difficult as the 3DS Wii U version was, because there's only one platform rather than two. You know what I mean? So that'll take a lot.
Even like there was just so much DLC, because you had like you had the new characters, you had the new stages, but then you also had like all those Mii outfits and stuff in there as well that were like kind of separate. When they'd announce like a new character or a new theme or something, that like some of that stuff was cool, some of it was not. I never really played as the Mii characters, but I don't know.
What I think would be great is if they do, the game comes out and then the first year of DLC or whatever is free, kind of like with Splatoon. And then announce like a season 2 season pass or something, like, a year later, and then you can spend the $40 or $30 or whatever and get like a ton of stuff over the next year or whatever. I doubt they would do a season pass right away though. Well, I guess, I don't know. This is all hypothetical depending on what they're doing, but like, I would imagine they might want to do like a year's worth of DLC for this game. So to let you pay for all of it all at once, I don't know. They probably wouldn't do that, but I guess they could do the season 1 season pass right away.
Or the first year of content is free for Nintendo Online subscribers.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It's got to be connected to that, I'm sure. Like, yeah.
So,
and that's another conversation too, is like, when do we think this game will come out? Because a lot of people think it's the big holiday game, which I think it totally could be the big holiday game, but
it definitely is.
Oh, it definitely is, you say, except for if the online service launches in September or whatever, it might make sense to have a big game launch with that online service, like when that comes out, So if the game comes out,
a Nintendo holiday game is like any game released between, with their big games, like anything released between August and January, because it's going to sell through the holidays.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, like, okay, Mario, Zelda, like whatever, like they always like put that big game in November, like the Black Friday game, like that,
like Breath of the Wild.
Holiday game. No, not Breath of the Wild. Obviously, that's a different situation. But like, there was no chance that Mario Odyssey was going to come out in September or May or anywhere. It was going to be the Black Friday. They always have like a big
October.
No, fine, whatever. Fine. Okay, fine. It was October 30th. Fine. Okay, okay, fine. But it's still, that's only like 3 weeks before Black Friday. Like September is a little different, but okay, fine. Point taken. I just think that they always have that giant game like in November. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it came out October 30th, fine, but it's basically a November game. So, but I think September.
Yeah, no, I think if anything, Nintendo Online is, well, maybe they'll want to give Nintendo Online, some time to breathe, and so they can have it like just, functioning perfectly by the time Smash drops.
That's true.
So maybe it will come out like a month before. And then,
or they could also do some beta stuff like in October, like some beta testing with Smash, and not actually have that come out. But, you're not doing that unless you have the Nintendo Online service and stuff too. Yeah. So could do that.
Yeah.
Because Mario Tennis Aces is getting like a a beta weekend or something. Which I don't know if you caught that or not in the draft,
Yeah.
but that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's happening, but they are doing that more and more these days. So
yeah, totally. No, I am 100%. Smash is the big 2018 game. Like that is what their their E3 booth is going to be insane. It is going to be all Smash. It's going to steal the show. Yeah, that's definitely happening.
yeah.
So
That you know what? Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. And I'm not trying to be like a difficult dude here,
devil's
but
advocate, as you are wont to be.
why announce this game in March at this direct if it is the big game? I mean, I'm not saying it's not. It's definitely the big game, but like, it's all like because now at E3, like there's gonna be. If they just save this for E3, people would have lost their minds. Instead, they let us lose our minds in March. Why?
Mm-hmm. Because it's the same reason that Breath of the Wild was, announced before they gave it its big, coming out party at E3. Same with Mario Odyssey. Like, this is all the Smash we're getting until E3. We know it exists because when E3 rolls around, Nintendo's going to be like, our booth is going to be themed around Smash. There's going to be this giant Smash tournament that's going to be like a showcase of our E3 presentation where you're going to get to see like all these great Smash players playing this game for the first time. It's going to be like this whole event. Like,
okay.
I'm positive that's what's happening here.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And that's why they like Smash is coming. Now you know.
And you don't have to try to keep it secret when you're planning all this stuff and bringing all these people out and everything.
And then E3, people are going to lose their minds when they start showing some of those character reveal trailers. And and whoever it is, Goku or whatever, that's when, there's going to be like reaction videos of people like jumping out of windows and stuff. Like it's going to be insane. Like, but this is like perfect momentum to like roll into E3 with, because like everyone's going to want to know, like, what does this game look like? Who are the characters? What are the stages? And then, E3 going to be huge reveals around the game. And then in the time, like post E3, that's when we're going to start getting like the information trickling out about like, those updates, Japan time, all that stuff, up until the release of the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, yes. I mean, there is nothing in video games that are like on the level of Smash character reveal trailers. Like, those are like the most hype anything.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I guess you've convinced me. You have convinced me. I mean, I do think that obviously there's going to be other big announcements and other big reveals and stuff at E3, but but yeah, okay, I'm on board. You got it.
Yeah,
because part of me was just thinking like, man, they must have some really giant stuff if they're ready to let the cat out of the bag with Smash in March. But no, I think you're right. That you got me.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to see like, the additional stuff is like we'll probably see Metroid Prime 4 gameplay for the first time at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that. That's still going to like, they're known quantities in the fact that like we know it exists, but we haven't like actually seen what it's like, and we don't know release dates and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be cool. It'll be awesome.
For sure.
So like all of that's super fun. Like I'm not even like a hardcore Smash player at all. Like I'm it's to me like they're fun games that are, it's all about the Nintendo fan service, all about like the video game history in there, and I love watching really good players play Smash. Like I love the tournaments and everything, as well. But like myself, I'm not like a competitive Smash player or anything. But like I said, there's nothing like Smash Brothers hype. Yeah. It is the best. I do have a couple concerns though about this. Like there's definitely a part of me that I don't know, feels kind of weird about this. Because I guess for one, no matter what this game is, we are going to have to deal with like a very vocal minority complaining about what it's not. And I'm not super up for that. But that's whatever. That's video games, I guess. But I do feel like the Smash vocal minority can sometimes make things a little less fun at times. But yeah, that's not really a knock against the game or anything. That's
well, and then the alternative is just never have any new Smash Brothers games because they're not going to complain about it.
They're not Melee. Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm saying like, I mean, yes, people are going to complain about this, the biggest game in video games, but like, would you rather just not have the biggest game? Like just no Smash ever because people are going to complain about it. So I mean, like,
I think there's probably some people who do feel that way.
Yeah, well,
if it's not Melee HD, then never.
Right, but from my perspective, it's like I don't have to listen to those people, and if I have people who are like really annoying on my timeline or whatever, I just
mute them.
Or unfollow those people, and like I mean, that's not. I feel like that is a non-issue, not a non-issue, but not much of an issue to me anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the other thing that kind of bums me out is I don't know what the state of Switch fighting games is going to look like in 2018 now, and then into 2019, because you can't compete with Smash. Obviously I've talked a ton on the podcast. I'm super excited for SNK Heroines on Switch. I don't know if like when that game comes out, if there would have been like a player base there that is now like, well, Smash is the fighting game I'm buying this year. So, different types of games, but that it does kind of concern me. I think it sucks for ARMS, which is like that online community. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like, are people going to, stick with it? But it's kind of like, I don't know. And, it makes me wonder about stuff like I mentioned earlier, like Dragon Ball Fighters. Is Bandai Namco going to be like, well, we're thinking about releasing this on Switch in October, but yeah, don't want to compete with Smash.
I don't know because I don't know. I mean, we could go case by case here. I don't think SNK Heroines was ever going to sell a ton. Like, I mean, not that I'm saying it was going to be a failure. It wasn't going to sell well, but like there's a ceiling for that game, and it's
for sure.
People, like you that are going to buy it. You're not going to get to like the giant, like I just went there, Ryan. People like you, no, but really, like you're never going to get to the mainstream like Switch audience with a game like that. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like it even factors in really. And then for ARMS, that's like I think a more legit concern. But at the same time, like that game, I'm sorry, I don't think it was ever headed really anywhere. You know what I mean? Like that game came out, it didn't make a huge splash. I certainly don't think it's like
really well, didn't it? I think it did well.
Well, okay. I think it sold okay because like everything was selling okay on Switch at that time, but like it just like in comparison to Splatoon or whatever, like it doesn't seem like something with a ton of staying power. I don't think, and it's fine, but I don't know. If anybody's still like playing ARMS all the time online, like there are probably people that really, really like that game, and I would imagine they'll stick with it regardless. And then, with Smash Brothers, I don't know. I don't think having a super successful fighting game on a platform is a bad thing for other fighting games. I think it's the opposite, isn't it? Like with, for instance, with Mario Kart, like we end up getting like other kart racers on Nintendo platforms when Mario Kart does really well, which is, I guess, always. But I don't think it like.
I don't know. Is that still true? Like, what was the last kart racer we got post Mario Kart 8?
Well, okay. I guess not post Mario Kart 8, but you had like Sonic and but like, okay, like it's not like Sega's not like, oh well, let's not put out Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed on Wii U because it has a Mario Kart game. There's no room for us.
However, like that game did really well on Wii U because there was no Mario Kart game in sight. If Mario Kart 8 was coming out 3 months after Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, I don't know if it would have done as well.
Yeah, but there is a reality that exists between like put out your fighting game 2 weeks before or after Smash and don't ever put out any fighting games on Switch because of Smash. Like I think, yeah, you should get out of the way and like not put out a fighting game within a month or two of Smash Brothers or whatever. But at the same time, do you say, oh, well, never mind, for the rest of the life of the Switch, there's already a fighting game on it called Super Smash Brothers, so let's not do any more. I don't think that. I think it would be the opposite, really. I mean, like for instance, well, yeah, I don't know. You don't use fight sticks for Smash, so never mind. I was going to say though, like, if I get like a fight stick because I'm excited about the Street Fighter 2 collection coming out, like for Switch, that's not going to make me say like, oh, I don't want to play more fighting games. If anything, it'd make me want to play more fighting games, So I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see, but I feel like it definitely is something that like kind of takes over for Nintendo fans, like you're saying, but I don't know. I doubt we'll see publishers like not want to do fighting games because of Smash. But
yeah,
I do think ARMS is going to be forgotten. I think you're right about that, but I kind of feel like it already is. So
yeah. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for ARMS. By December 2017, it had sold 1.61 million copies worldwide. Also, like super interesting here in the accolades section, New York Game Awards 2018. It was nominated in the category Central Park Children's Zoo Award for Best Kids Game, which I did not know was an award. I did not know New York Game Awards were a thing that existed. That's exciting. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, my perspective is like people love Smash. Smash is really fun. And it will be something that people will really, really love. So like I guess like the idea that like, you're worried about the negativity surrounding it to a certain extent I could see, but I can't really relate to the argument of it might be, well, that's not what you're saying. Never mind. I was just going to say, I can't relate to the argument like, oh, it'll be too good and nobody want to play any other fighting games. Like that's not really too tough of a problem to have to deal with. Like, oh, this game is so great. Like it's all anybody wants to play. Like that's a good thing, I think. But I don't know. That's an oversimplification of what you're saying too, I guess. But I don't know. I think Smash Brothers for Switch is a good thing, Ryan. I'm excited.
I also think it's a good thing.
Okay.
But it also like raises some questions. Like, are they going to do a GameCube controller?
Joy-Con.
Yep.
GameCube Joy-Con.
Is that going to happen?
Probably not.
Is that where we're going to see GameCube Virtual Console all around that. I don't know. I think Smash in 2018 it's a legit surprise to me. I gotta say it, like I was not expecting um a new Smash game this year, or like what I would have expected is, Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch. But but I feel like if that's what this game was, like they would have just showed their hand. But I think this is like this is the whole deal. This is the whole Smash hype cycle. It's all happening here. And we are now living in a Smash 2018 world, and I think it's like I'm actually at a point where I was not in the Wii U era, where they're saying Smash 2018. I'm believing Smash 2018 because Nintendo has been hitting those release dates.
Yeah.
Lately, like if this was Wii U and they were like, that time period, they're like, Smash, it's coming this year. I think we both would be like, okay, so it's coming like middle of next year, basically. Like there's going to be 3 big delays, and and that's what it's going to be. But I think when they've been calling those shots and hitting them.
Yeah, totally. Plus, I think it's like Splatoon or Splatoon 2. It's like you could delay the release of the game, or you could just release less of the game and then release more a couple months later, and I bet they'll probably do that if push came to shove. But
yeah, absolutely. And I think also we can, speaking of like 2017, 2018 Nintendo, like if the game releases and, maybe it launches with not as much content as people would hope, I think we can like safely say like that's fine, because they will deliver. Because they have been delivering on that follow-up content, like looking at Splatoon and ARMS, like that. Those free content updates are pretty great.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, that was the direct. Pretty dang awesome. But we're not done. And we're going to move through these things pretty quick. From the Japanese direct, Taiko no Tetsujin, Taiko Drum Master, is coming to Switch, and it's going to have some songs from Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 2, and it's going to have motion controls with the Joy-Con, so Joy-Con drumming, and these games rule. They are probably my favorite rhythm games these days. I love playing them in the arcade when I was in Japan. But I also have the 3DS, one of the 3DS games and one of the Japanese Wii games. And they are fun with playing with styli in the case of the 3DS, or even just playing with buttons on the Wii U game. Like they're just so fun. This is going to be awesome on Switch, and may not get an English release. Totally cool with that, because it's super easy to play imports on the Switch. So I will be there day one for that. That's cool. Something from posted on Twitter by Jeremy Parrish last week is that he is teaming up with Fangamer to work on developing a vertical grip for the Nintendo Switch for shmups that play in vertical mode.
Yeah,
that's tate mode, I guess we should say.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I would think like they already have an image of the thing, so it's prototyped in that regard. And then Jeremy wrote more information in the very near future on that tweet too. So I would think probably, it would come out relatively, soon, like sometime this year or whatever. Like, I don't think it's like a super far off, like, oh, well, we're going to work on this and try to come up with something. Like, seems like it's probably pretty far in development, and that's really cool. I don't play a ton of shmups, but what I do want to use this for is pinball. Like, I think it'd be really cool for pinball because, as I talked about when Pinball FX came out on Switch, I was a little disappointed with the implementation of the vertical mode. But if I could use that thing, it would be perfect, kind of. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then who knows what other possibilities there could be for other types of games and stuff that could use a vertical mode like that. So.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as stuff that I own, Pinball FX3 has that Tate option. The Psycho shooters, which, in the image, he posted Strikers 1945 too. So all of those games have the Tate option. The Namco Museum, some of the games in there have it. So like, I would definitely get use out of this for sure. So that is very exciting. And then last, some hot South by Southwest gaming news here. Sonic Mania Plus retail version of Sonic Mania is coming out this summer, and can you say holographic cover?
I actually didn't see that. Oh yeah, holographic slipcover. Nice.
Yeah.
Reversible Genesis branded sleeve, 32-page art book, new modes, which will also come to the version of the game we already own. But yeah, expanding online and competition mode. I don't know really what that is, but that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm at with this, Ryan. I already own this game. And it's a bummer when you have to buy a game that you already own. But this game is $30, which means with Gamers Club, it is $22. No, $26? $24. $24. Yeah, $24. I can go $24 for a cool box, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like I just need to buy this because
it really sucks for you though, because didn't you buy that like
I have the absurd collector's edition. Yep. I also have the soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But this would be a huge gap in my Sonic Mania collection if I did not purchase this.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I'll buy it again. I mean that Genesis cover that's it for me. Like no way could I like not get it. But like Lindsay has been curious about this game, but she like not curious enough to actually buy it, and then we'll have an extra cart so she can just play it.
Yeah, that's some interesting calculus you're doing there, because like you're not playing Sonic Mania on your Switch all that often, which means she could just. Do you have a cartridge or is it a download?
It hasn't been. This is the first release of it in cardboard.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking that you had this, but then again,
in the special edition, just came with a piece of paper with the code.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that makes more sense. I was gonna say, like, I mean, she could just play your game, like you're not playing it that much, but then I guess she's occupying your Switch and stuff. So yeah. All right. Cool.
That's,
I mean, I'm buying it for no reason except for just to have it. So I guess
when Owen gets a Switch, you'll be able to play the cooperative or competitive modes together.
Yeah, that's true.
Just planning for the future, looking out for your fam.
There you go. But also, I added that there is the Sonic Mania Adventures animated series coming to YouTube. Which is cool. I think it's only going to be 5 episodes. I don't know how long they're going to be. I think sort of short, probably a couple minutes long.
Yeah.
But the best thing about it, or at least potentially the best thing about it, is that they don't feature any dialogue. So it's just totally like visual storytelling there with the Sonic Mania adventures. And I think that would be cool. It should be something that's fun and less likely to bother people or be bad if it doesn't have any dialogue, I think. It's hard to screw it up if it's just like watching Sonic run around and like bounce on stuff, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll still see Sonic emote surrounding his excitement for a chili dog.
Yes, that would be good. But yeah, I feel like if you're not going to bring Jaleel White back, then don't do dialogue. So
no, absolutely not. But the animation looks awesome. Like I'm stoked for these. I'm gonna watch the flipping heck out of them.
And he can show all kinds of attitude without actually saying anything, you know, like he can put cool sunglasses on. He could play the electric guitar. He could skateboard.
Snowboard.
He could snowboard.
A little bit of Sonic 3 in there.
He could do some aggressive inline skating. He could ride a BMX setup. He could do some parkour.
I think parkour is guaranteed.
Graffiti is possibly in the cards. You know, he could do some graffitiing.
Could wear some what are those extreme pants?
Jinkos?
Jinkos. Yeah. Could wear some of those.
Not that kind of extreme guy. I thought you were gonna say you could wear like black and white, like checkerboard print or something like that. That'd be cool. That's the kind of extreme that he goes for.
Deco. Yeah, or even more extreme, he could just not wear pants. How about that?
Yeah, that actually does work for Sonic. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think the animation looks awesome.
Yeah.
For this, like I watched the like preview video like 4 times. I still haven't watched the Avengers Infinity War trailer, but I have watched this Sonic Mania clip 4 times.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either. Interestingly, yeah. So, okay, I think we are at the portion of the show where you plug your stuff, right?
Yeah. Wow. This is really kind of going on. But last thing about Sonic Mania, bonus characters coming. Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. Some super deep cuts from Sega Sonic, the arcade game, Japan only arcade game that I'm not even sure what that game is. And Knuckles Chaotix for the 32X. So that's pretty rad. Yeah, I'm super stoked for this. Love, it may be like I would have been totally cool with like Sonic Mania 2 getting announced, which I do feel like is an inevitable thing to happen, and I'm very excited for that. But a reason to go back to Sonic Mania is pretty awesome. Yeah,
absolutely
cool. One more news bit. Next week, Nindy's Showcase. The train doesn't stop rolling. So who knows what that's going to bring, but probably some more cool Switch games. Yeah. In conjunction with GDC, maybe? Is GDC happening right now or next week or something? Yeah, seems like it. I think GDC is going on, so probably related to that. But yeah, that should be cool. For sure. So I guess plugs for stuff. I'm now playing on a weekly Splatoon 2 team with some friends and Nintendo World Report folks. So check out, I'll be tweeting out links to the live streams and to the recorded videos. We are having a lot of fun and playing a lot of Splatoon 2. So check that out. Also, last episode of Nintendo Fun Club podcast that I posted like the other day was an interview about Membrane. with Seth S. Scott, the creator of the game, and it was a super good convo. Unfortunately, my audio gets really wonky and echoey in the last 7 minutes or so of the convo, but what can you do? But yeah, that's great. Great conversation about a super weird and cool game on the Nintendo Switch. So check out that episode. It is the one in your podcast feed before this one. And then finally, I posted my must-play Neo Geo games on the Nintendo Switch list over at NintendoFunClubPodcast.com. And it is a living document, a work in progress. I will be adding absolutely essential Neo Geo Arcade Archives games to that list with reasons why you should definitely play it. So that's kind of been a project I've been working on for a while. And compiling that list was full of Sophie's Choice moments for me. And I actually agonized over it quite a bit. So please check that out.
I like it because you had Neo Turf Masters like right near the top. So
yeah, I mean they're not in order. Like all of the games are just like must plays. But yeah.
Yeah, they're not in order, but Neo Turf Masters being right at the top is also not a coincidence. So
well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any so those have been like the games I've been playing pretty much. It's been been playing tons of Neo Geo stuff to like get that list together and really kind of go deep into what games I feel like people should play. I actually put a lot of thought into it, so please check it out, and please check out some of those games because if they're on there, it's because I believe in my heart of hearts that you should play it. So yeah. Anyways, what are some things you've been playing, John?
Well, I've been playing Mega Man X. I'm about halfway through with that game on the Super Famicom Classic, I guess you call that thing. No, it's not Super Famicom. Super Nintendo Classic European Edition. Not that it matters. But yeah, I've been playing some Mega Man X, about halfway through that. But I'll just wait and talk about it next time around, as hopefully I'll be done with it by then. And then I've just been playing Breath of the Wild, as always, and playing Rocket League, as always. Played some Mario Kart 8 the other day, too. But yeah, nothing really new at all at the moment. So
cool. Well, those will keep you busy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and wrap up. Again, big plugs for the site. Check out the interview with Seth S. Scott about Membrane. His path to game development is really fascinating, and if you are at all interested in moving to a career of independent game development, his path is an interesting one. So check that out. Again, apologies for the audio mishaps, but
yeah, I listened to that one last night, Ryan, and I thought it was really compelling interview. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah. Seth's a great guy, and it was really awesome for him to share his some of his free time on a Friday night with me for that. So definitely check that out, and check out Membrane on the eShop. Also, as always, check out the blog, especially the Neo Geo list, NintendoFunClubPodcast.com. Check out the YouTube channel. Still, uploading a video or two, typically of Neo Geo games, every week or so, on there. And subscribe, whatever, to all the things. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at Brawn Dwarf, BrawnDwarf. And what about you, John?
I'm on Twitter at Arcade Ghost.
Cool. Well, thanks as always for tuning in. and we will catch you next time. Skate straight.